Have you ever had that experience where the second your head hits the pillow, your mind just starts racing? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Welcome to this explainer. We're going to get to the bottom of why anxiety can feel so much worse at night, and, most importantly, what you can actually do about it.
All right, so let's just dive right into the big question here. It happens to so many of us, but why? Why does the silence of the night seem to turn up the volume on all our worries? Well, it turns out the reasons are both in our minds and in our bodies. So for this first part, we're going to really explore the factors that can turn your bedroom from a peaceful sanctuary into a total stress zone. Understanding the why behind it all is always the best first step to finding a real solution. At its heart, the reason is actually pretty simple. Think about your day. It's packed, right? Work, errands, family, just noise. All that stuff acts like a buffer. But at night, when everything gets quiet and all those distractions fall away, your mind is basically left alone with its thoughts. And suddenly, all the worries you managed to push aside all day can come roaring back. And what's so interesting is just how many different things can trigger this. It's almost never just one thing. I mean, that coffee you had at 3 p.m., it can still be making you jittery hours later. Or the fear of not being able to sleep can, ironically, be the very thing that keeps you wide awake. Sometimes you notice a tiny ache and your mind blows it up into something serious. And for a lot of people, other things are at play, like underlying conditions or even hormonal shifts from things like menopause. So let's talk about what this actually feels like. Because nighttime anxiety isn't just a thought floating in your head. No, it is a full body experience. A lot of the time, your body is reacting before your brain has even fully processed what's happening. You might feel your heart just pounding in your chest or get that awful tightness that makes it hard to breathe. Your muscles clench up, leading to headaches or a sore jaw. And in the most intense moments, this wave of physical feelings can build and build until it becomes a full-blown panic attack, which is, frankly, terrifying. Okay, so that's the physical side. Let's look at the mental side. A huge piece of this puzzle is something called rumination. The best way to think about it is like your brain gets stuck on a loop, like a broken record, just playing the same negative thoughts over and over and over again without ever getting to a solution. And here are some of the classic things that can kick that mental loop into high gear. It could be really practical stuff, like worrying about money. Or maybe you're replaying an argument from earlier, thinking about all the things you should have said. For some, it can even be a past trauma that resurfaces. But the worst part of it all, it's that feeling of being completely powerless, like you're just a passenger on this runaway train of your own thoughts. But, and this is the most important part, you are not powerless. Not at all. Nighttime anxiety is incredibly treatable, so let's shift gears and look at the proven professional pathways that can lead you to relief and finally some calmer nights. According to the American Psychological Association, therapy is a seriously powerful tool. And why is that? Well, because instead of just putting a Band-Aid on the symptoms, it actually helps you dig down and find the root cause of the anxiety. Things like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, give you the actual skills for the long haul, teaching you how to challenge and change those thought patterns that are fueling the anxiety in the first place. Now, medication can also be a really effective part of the plan, and it's often used right alongside therapy to give you some more immediate relief. Let's just quickly break down the three main types a doctor might talk to you about. You've got antidepressants, which work over time to help stabilize your mood. Then there are benzodiazepines, which work almost instantly to slow down your brain activity. And beta blockers are pretty fascinating. They mostly focus on stopping the physical symptoms, like a racing heart.
Okay, so beyond professional help, there is a whole toolkit of strategies you can start using, like tonight. These are practical, empowering things you can do to start managing that anxiety and taking back your sleep.
Think of these as building a stronger foundation for being calm. Simple changes to your diet can make a huge difference. Keeping a food log might show you some surprising triggers, and cutting back on caffeine is always a great first step. Exercise is an absolute game changer. Some studies even show that high-intensity workouts are especially good for anxiety. And, just bringing stress management techniques into your daily life helps lower the overall pressure before your head even hits the pillow. Here's something you can literally try the next time you feel that anxiety starting to build. It's called box breathing, and it's a super simple way to hit the brakes on your nervous system. Let's just do it once, real quick. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold again for 4. Just repeating that cycle a few times can bring this incredible sense of calm. So this brings us to a really crucial question. When does this cross the line? I mean, a little bit of worry now and then is totally normal, But when does it become a medical condition that really needs professional help? Let's look at the signs. If you find yourself nodding along to any of these, that's a really clear sign that it's time to talk to a professional. If anxiety is starting to affect your physical health, if the home remedies we talked about just aren't making a dent, or if it is just completely destroying your ability to sleep, you need to get support. Waiting can just let the anxiety get more and more dug in. And if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. This is not a weakness. It is not a personal failing or something you just have to tough out. Chronic anxiety is a real, treatable condition, and asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. By understanding what causes this, recognizing what it feels like, and knowing that there are so many professional treatments and personal strategies out there, you're already on your way to making a change. Taking that first step towards a calmer, more restful night is absolutely within your reach.